need to be controlled by Canada and its citizens, not the United Nations. He had originally referred to his group as the Yellow Vest Convoy, but renamed it United We Roll after it was linked to extremist elements. The Yellow Vest movement started in France late last year when protesters took to the streets against rising fuel prices. Yes, that's all it was about, the rising fuel prices, and they just won't stop, despite the fact that Macron, their president, has repealed the fuel price increases and is desperately trying to hold his government together. But don't mention that, CBC. Don't mention that. Okay, this part is the hit piece part. They talk about how terrible the Yellow Vests are. It says counter-protesters plan to meet the convoy near Parliament Hill on Tuesday. So far, there's no plan for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to meet the convoy. No, but the other two leaders who are actual leaders and their own people and didn't just have their principal secretary quit in disgrace amongst nothing to see here, no charges, I didn't do anything wrong, but I have to go defend myself against people calling me mean things. Right, Mr. Morneau? Anyway, Maxime Bernier's whole video here is quiet. I've turned on the closed captioning. I apologize. I'm going to try and use the magic YouTube things to enhance this volume, but I apologize if it's not loud enough. So sorry if you are listening and you have to turn me up and then turn me down or whatever. I apologize.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for doing that and for being here to protest, because you're not asking for a handout, you're not asking for any privileges, you're just asking for being sure that this country will be able to build pipelines. That's important, not only for you, that's important for all Canadians. And yes, you're right. We don't need a carbon tax. We don't need the bill C-69. We don't need the bill C-48. And under our leadership, with the People's Party of Canada, we will scrap C-49. We will scrap C-69. We will privatize the other pipeline. So we need to have a pipeline that would be built by the private sector for you and for our friends from all over the country. So it's easy to say that. It's very easy. Justin Trudeau told you that you'll have a pipeline. Andrew Scheer is saying the same thing. And I'm saying the same thing. Who's right? Who's going to deliver a pipeline? We need
a constitution!
Yes, we need to use the Constitution. So I said the same thing in French in Quebec. I said the same thing in English in New Brunswick. I said the same thing in English in Alberta. And now I'm telling you that, yes, we need to do some consultation. But if we don't have any agreement, we need to use our Constitution. We need to use the Section 9210 and declare a pipeline for the advantage of our country. And yes, if we don't have an agreement with the politician in Quebec or the politician in BC, we will use the Constitution and impose a pipeline. Because Canadians know that it's first of all safer to build a pipeline today. It is safer for the environment. It is safer for the population. And Quebecers remember what happened 7 years ago in Lac Mégantic. We need to transport our oil and gas by pipeline, and we need to use the Constitution if necessary. I'm asking you, ask that question to the other politicians who will come here, if they have the courage to use the Constitution if necessary to build a pipeline. Ask that question to Justin Trudeau. We know the answer. asked that question to Andrew Scheer. He was not able to answer that in French in Quebec when they asked the question. And the journalist said to Andrew Scheer, do you think that you will use the Constitution to build a pipeline if Quebec, the politicians in Quebec are against that? He was not able to answer the question. You know, I'm answering that question. Our goal is to speak to our fellow Canadians and speaking about what is good for this country, for the unity of this country. We need pipeline, but not only that, we need to have a fair equalization formula. We need to be sure that it would be fair for everybody. If we want to unite our country, we need these two reforms at the federal level, and I'm there, the People's Party of Canada is there to deliver that for you and for all Canadians.